Part 2. A new mission. Zachary's first task was to find the girl, an angel who had been trapped in a human form by a dark force. The last time anyone had seen her, it was near Zachary's home, and the leaders of the angels believed that he, with his deep connection to the area, would be the best one to track her down. But something felt different this time. He could feel the weight of responsibility on his new wings, and as he hovered above his old home, he couldn't ignore the sight of his parents, grieving by his grave. His heart ached to see them, and the overwhelming desire to comfort them surged through him. It felt like only a day had passed for him in heaven, but he realized with a start that on earth, 5 days had gone by. Time flowed differently between the realms, adding to the surreal nature of his new existence. But Zachary knew better. He couldn't allow them to see him. He was no longer the boy they had loved. He was an angel now, a creature of the ethereal, and the pain of their grief could keep him from his task. He would have to stay hidden, for their sake. In the streets below, Zachary noticed something else, someone who stood out. A young girl, around his own age, was walking alone, her head down as she passed the houses. Her eyes were distant, her expression lonely. She seemed connected to him somehow, as if there was something she needed to understand. Zachary descended closer, watching her. She was his neighbor, Emily, his only friend during his illness. She had always treated him like a normal boy, never defined by his condition. They had shared quiet moments, and her kindness had been a constant in his life. But now, he noticed a loneliness in her he had never seen before. "Emily," he whispered softly, the words drifting through the air, unheard by her. He left the scene and ventured into the city, the weight of his mission driving him forward. The bustling streets became a maze of endless possibilities as Zachary delved deeper into his search. Each step revealed fragments of the city's stories, laughter echoing from a cafe, the hurried steps of workers, and the hushed whispers of secrets tucked away in shadowy alleys. As an angel, Zachary did not tire or need rest, but the passing days felt like a relentless tide of unanswered questions. Time blurred, and the city seemed to grow larger, more intricate with every turn. He moved through the crowded markets, past the rhythmic clamor of merchants, and along the quiet, dim-lit corridors of forgotten buildings. He noticed every detail, the flicker of a street lamp, the melancholy notes of a street musician, the delicate threads of life intertwining in ways he could no longer be part of. The world was alive, vibrant, and utterly unaware of the silent war unfolding between light and darkness. Zachary felt the gravity of his mission deepen with every fleeting moment. Each night, as the city slowed into a lull, he climbed the rooftops to overlook its vast expanse, hoping for a divine sign. His thoughts lingered on the angel he sought, a faint image of a radiant figure struggling in despair, a memory not his own but etched into his purpose. It became his beacon, driving him to keep searching, no matter how elusive the trail. One day, Zachary was sitting on the roof of his home, thinking about his past life, when he saw Emily running from a dog on the street. Startled, he delayed only a moment before flying down. With a gust of wind, he landed between her and the aggressive animal and shouted, "Stay back, Emily." Then, reaching out, he touched the dog. The creature's aggression melted into calm, and it fled. "Emily," wide-eyed, said, "Zachary, is that you? I heard you, right?" Zachary hesitated, torn about whether to reveal himself, but Emily began to cry. Moved by her tears, he appeared before her, his large wings folding behind him before retracting entirely. Zachary told her his story, why he was here in this form. Emily, astonished but resolute, promised to help him in any way she could. Before leaving, Zachary handed her one of his feathers and said, "If you find yourself in danger during this process, call my name while holding this feather close to your mouth." He promised to meet her again but urged her not to tell anyone about him. Finally, after what felt like countless days, Zachary paused. A subtle shift in the air, a ripple of divine energy, tugged at him. It was faint but undeniable, leading him through winding paths to a small, dark home cloaked in shadows. Here, at last, was the trace he had been seeking. There, Zachary gained some hope of finding the lost angel.